Fasika, welcome to my show. Your next promotion from invisible to influential. You know, one of the greatest challenges that most leaders face is not because people don't have talent or not because there's lack of effort, but mostly because there's lack of clarity and collaboration within the teams. And I know today, with your focus on clarity and strategy and collaboration, you are the right guy to talk to our audience today and empower them to move from scatter to clarity.
Thank you, Felix, for having me. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to talk to you about clarity and collaboration on this
Yeah.
program.
Yeah, thank you, Fasika. I know you have so much experience, global experience in Africa, in the US, and working with nonprofit and other organizations in your own professional life. So before we start, why don't you tell us who you are?
My name is Fasika. I'm a leadership coach, and I have been working on different capacities. Earlier, as you mentioned, I have been working on performance management, mostly in Africa, and transitioning to leadership coaching, particularly focusing on clarity and collaboration, helping professionals and entrepreneurs to make strategic decision under pressure and lead with intention.
I like that. So if anyone is watching this and you are feeling the pressure of choices, of leadership, of collaboration, of high stakes decisions, this is the podcast that you don't want to miss. We are going to move from pressure to clarity to action to impact. So, Fasika, can you tell me about why you think most professionals, most high performing professionals, put in a lot of effort but still feel stuck? Why is it?
Yeah, the most important thing actually is before you start your journey to know where you are going. You have to be clear on your direction and where you want to go, right? And you set your GPS. Afterwards, each step will take you closer to where you want to go. In most of the cases, if you don't have clarity to that level, what happens is just you will be moving around, but every effort will not take you there. So, how much quick you run, if you don't know the direction you are running to, you will not definitely be where you want to go. It's just like driving in a new town without your GPS set, and you are coming to the same place over and over again. So
Mm-hmm.
you spend your energy and your resources, but you really don't feel you are moving anywhere. And
Yeah.
that by itself creates a kind of frustration and takes away your confidence.
You gave the GPS example. If you don't know where you're going, you're just going to be going around in circles, going around the same place in your thoughts. And that is a powerful imagery to show somebody who is lost. But if you have a GPS, you're most likely to get to the destination, to have the clarity to know where you're going. What do you mean by leaders are scattered?
Yeah, scattered actually means lacking a clarity. And I am framing scattered in two levels. One is at personal level. When you are not setting your direction based on your internal values, what's important to you internally, you wouldn't be able to organize your resources. Look, clarity actually creates confidence, and confidence brings a laser focused attention, and that gathers all your energy to what you want
Yeah.
to achieve. So, that actually by itself gives you the energy, the resource you require to move forward, to go ahead and achieve what you want to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
right in the morning, you are clear what your next action is, right? You
Yeah.
know what you'd be working next week, you know what's the next action next month. That clarity by itself organizes yourself, and that is being focused at
Yeah.
individual level. If you are missing this, You are having multiple priorities, you are having multiple focuses, and you start here, you stop, and you start another one. That wastes your time, your energy, and that's
Yeah.
what I mean scattered. But this
Yeah.
is not only at individual level. No success, no big success is said to be a solo journey. You are not supposed to achieve your big dream, your big goal alone. Everybody around you, there are the whole lot of resources around you. So if you don't have the mechanism, the framework to collaborate these resources, to bring them together, and you are in running solo, then you are scattered. You are just like trying to clap on your hands. So success is not just a solo journey, as I said. It's just a collaborative mechanism. So that by itself would actually add another layer of energy to take you more close to your goal and to take you faster as well. So this is a collaboration piece, and I'm framing from scattered to strategic at both levels. Have a clarity inside based on your values and stay focused what you want to achieve. And at the same time, know the resources around you. Every person, every other resource around you is just useful, something which takes you closer to your goal. So know that and how to approach that, how to use that. That again brings another layer of collaboration.
Yeah. I
So
like
that's how
that.
I frame both. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you walked us through about how people gain confidence, and you gain confidence by having the clarity to do whatever it is that you have to do. And also you explained scattered on a personal level, on individual level. And then you took it a step up and you talked about it on a probably on a team level or on an organizational level, for example. I want you to maybe go a little deeper into what it looks like, what scattered looks like in entrepreneurs' life and in a corporate life for leaders.
Yeah. Basically, scattered means not having a clarity where to divert your resource to. Take at corporate level, you are leading a team,
Yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
everybody in the team is a resource. Everybody in the team has the insight, has the energy, the creativity, which adds up to the team and provides the necessary skill and resource to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So if there is no alignment at the level of the purpose, yeah, the bigger picture that you want to achieve together, there is no
Yeah.
way people will actually draw their resources closer. So what I always say is at team levels, it's very much important to define what is most important for the team to achieve together. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the purpose of the team. And define this together so that everybody not only informs that conversation of defining the purpose, but also they understand and own it. This is very much important.
Yeah.
Now, down the line, at the time of implementation, they would actually be providing their best to
Yeah.
this process, right?
Yeah.
So the purpose is where the coordination and the collaboration comes. It's just like a holding bucket, if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every drop of insight is collected there and
Mm-hmm.
available for the achievement of the team.
Yeah. Very, very, very true. And one thing that you mentioned is about the team understanding the vision. Basically, within the team, they have to know where they're headed. And if a leader doesn't have the right clarity, then the team also doesn't have that right clarity. And one tool I want to recommend for anybody who is leading a team and they want to make sure that their teams have the clarity on the actions or on the goals, on the performance goals that they have to deliver, you can look up 5 C's of accountability. You make sure that your plan is very well understood. So, Fasika, I think you are touching on a very important topic, but some of the leaders can argue, what if there is so much pressure from above, so much pressure from the team, so much pressure because of lack of collaboration? Can you tell me about why you think pressure can quietly distort your thinking and decision making?
Yeah, this is the most important thing. At the time of pressure, the mind has a different reaction. Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
completely moves to a survival mode, and that completely closes creativity, right? So, under pressure, thinking becomes narrowed, focused, right? And you'd not be looking to a wider perspective. Yeah, that's the most important thing. So every time I'm working with my clients, what I always try to do is just to help them calm down thinking, right? That shifts the energy from your left judgmental brain to the right empathic brain, where you would actually be open and creative to new ideas and insights. So thinking under pressure always brings in a kind of survival mode. And in
Mm-hmm.
survival mode, you remain judgmental, criticizing, and also very much specific to the situation on hand, and you would not be able to look around and to look wider. So the first and most important thing actually is to identify what is really important to you and to your team at that particular situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
That by itself, identifying, understanding that by itself would help you to create a kind of a sense of direction where you would be able to go, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that by itself create a kind of mechanism which helps you to look into that particular specific direction you want to go to. So
Yeah.
thinking under pressure creates a kind of survival mode.
Yeah. Having the right clarity under pressure creates a survival mode that most leaders can use as leverage. Is
Yeah.
there a moment in your professional life, in your career, or in your coaching business that you have had to deal with pressure?
Oh, so many times, even at personal lives. That's
Yeah.
actually what brought me here. I have
Yeah.
been in similar situations and I have been trying so many things and doubling down my effort. And I notice that I'm not going forward. I'm not really achieving what I want to achieve. So that pressure by itself actually led me to look into, right, the why of all
Mm-hmm.
this. And by the way, that's what brought me to start to work on this double thinking that we might also be discussing a little
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
further. So, look, what I discovered actually is the life we live is just like a project.
Yeah.
Now you are a PMP certified, a
Yeah.
project has got a time, resources, and scope, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the moment I started to understand that whatever I want to achieve in life is just a project,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever I started to navigate on actually needs a framework and a structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
gives me the relief. I was even saying that the whole issue you are facing now is not personal, it's structural. It's not personal because it's not you failing. You are not
Yeah.
achieving what you want to achieve because you don't have the right structure, the right framework, which helps to guide you to prioritize, which helps you to, to choose what's important to you, which helps you to plan accordingly, right? So for me,
Yeah.
the most important five things are very much important. Five things are knowing what problem you are in now
Mm-hmm.
and understanding the current situation you are in and designing your new reality. Where do you really want to go? And
Mm-hmm.
understanding what is in the way between where you are and where you want to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you
Yeah.
do to address these challenges and be where you want to go? And that is the final action side of it. So the moment you
Yeah.
recognize that, and the moment you understand which structure can help you in the right situation you are in now,
Mm-hmm.
that by itself takes you one step closer to solving
Yeah.
your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So true. You know, some of our viewers now who might actually benefit from this conversation, they are just thinking of pressure and they are giving their own meaning to whatever pressure we are talking about now. In your experience, the pressure that led you into starting the DEBBO thinking and all those strategic and clarity focus framework. Can you define for us or tell us a little bit more about that pressure? Basically, what is your story around that pressure that somebody can relate to?
I'm a very ambitious person. I consider myself who really explores the future and considers myself as visionary. So
Yeah,
I always dream of a new land. I want to go from where I am now to somewhere. So that's what I always do. And you know what? Since I was not doing this in a structured framework, despite all this thinking, all these ambitions, I was not moving forward anywhere. I was finding myself in the same place year in, year out. What is very common among professionals and even entrepreneurs is just to set a goal whenever you are at the beginning of the new year, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, since you don't have the right framework, the right structure to follow through and build on that, few weeks, few months into the new year, you just forget about that. And something different, a new priority comes up, and you start to work on that, right? So
yeah,
every time you shift the goalpost, and that doesn't take you anywhere. Just like the example we were talking about the GPS earlier. You are
yeah,
just changing the destination every time as you are driving, through. So if you
yeah.
are changing your destination, you wouldn't get where you want to go at the end of the day, right? So that was what was happening to me. So
Mm-hmm.
the realization comes, okay, every time I plan, but I change the goalpost.
Yeah.
Every time I change the goalpost, I forget about the previous plan. And
Mm-hmm.
whenever I come back to the new year, as an example, then I start to think about my older plan and I feel that, oh, I am not able to achieve that, right?
Yeah.
Every time I
Yeah.
plan, but I cannot execute. That was actually the frustration I have inside
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So that is a kind of pressure I believe everybody or most
Yeah.
people are facing these days
Yeah.
because
So
we really have brilliant ideas. We really are capable. That's not the
mm-hmm.
problem, right?
Yeah.
We really have a great intention,
Yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
despite all this, why I am not in the new land I am dreaming to be every time?
Yeah.
Right? So
So true.
that actually is a structural issue because
Yeah.
I like a framework which guides me through. So
Yeah.
that's why I came to this double thinking framework.
Mm-hmm.
There I am focusing on two things. The first one is clarity. So
Yeah.
I should be able to know where I want to go, that ambition, that new land I want to be. Right? That's the first
Mm-hmm.
thing. That is the clarity. I must be clear on that. And this clarity should come from my own internal values. It should not be based on what is available out there or based on
Mm.
what other people are achieving.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an engineer because a good friend of mine is a good engineer. I don't want to be a doctor because a family member is just a good doctor. I have to be what I want to be based on what I value internally. So, understanding
Yeah.
that value and my internal identity is a foundation for clarity. I can only create my new reality based on that real value of me. So,
Yeah.
understanding that value is very much important. So, that gives
Yeah.
me half of what I need, the clarity. But remember, nobody can achieve what he or she wants to achieve alone,
Yeah.
right? We
Yeah.
need collaboration, we need cooperation. And I need also to be clear on what resources I need and what resources are around me, and how can I tap those resources, and how can I continue engagement with these resources sustainably to keep
Mm-hmm.
myself focused, to get the accountability I need to move forward. It's not that I plan now and I forget tomorrow. That accountability piece is very much important. And the second one is I have to actually sustain the game, and I have to also dream the next level higher up. And this collaboration is my partner as I go forward, right? So this
Yeah.
clarity and collaboration I understood are really the very most important elements for professionals and entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
That's why I just have worked on these two pieces and framed them into double thinking.
Yes. And I'll ask you about DEBBO thinking in a second. But so far, we've been focusing on having clarity, understanding the problem, shaping it for our viewers to be able to see what we mean by clarity and lack of clarity. And especially for high performing professionals who might be feeling the pressure fragmenting their thinking. And that, in a way, limits them in the type of actions they need to take to achieve their goals. So, every professional out there, every entrepreneur, every company, they are making decisions and they're taking actions. But is it the right type of action? And that's where clarity comes in. And especially with your framework, DEBBO. What is DEBBO?
Debo actually is an African word, particularly a word from Ethiopia. So Debo is a cultural framework of coming together, collaborating to solve a problem which is beyond one individual, to solve a problem which is beyond a family. If you want to build a new house in the rural area, for example, so people come together and help you without actually expecting you to pay them something, or digging a well, which is actually labor intensive, requires more resources. People come together, help you on that with one condition, that you would help them in return. So collaboration and reciprocity. That is a concept. For me, the bow in the contemporary world means also dynamic engagement to bridge bold opportunities. It's an abbreviation.
Mm,
It's
yeah,
a form of engagement, but a dynamic engagement, a continuous engagement. And
yeah.
this engagement actually is bridging opportunities. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there are really big opportunities out there, and we are dreaming big professionally. We are dreaming big in business, which we cannot achieve them alone, which
Yeah.
requires collaboration with our resources around us. So it's bridging that opportunity and helping us achieve the big dreams that we want to achieve. So it's more of, let's say, a structure,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like
Yeah.
a container, a glass, yeah, where you put on water or where you
Mm-hmm.
put on your tea. So it's just like a cup having multiple tools and frameworks which would help you actually to navigate this collaborative clarity and collaboration process.
Is there a difference between DEBBO thinking and the general productivity and mindset shift that people talk about?
Double thinking actually is a framework, a general framework,
Mm-hmm.
which would help you to understand the problem on hand,
Yeah.
and also to help you to understand what tools you require to define what that problem is. Is this an emotional problem? Is this a challenge related to identifying and managing risks? It's an
Mm-hmm.
issue related to collaboration. So it's more of a framework, and it guides your way of thinking. in terms of understanding the problem, articulating them, applying the right tools, right, on the right problem, and seeking collaboration, the right collaboration you need to address this problem. So it's more of a framework, as I said, a container which holds
Mhm.
all the different tools and processes. And it's just up to you to pick and use which framework. But the whole idea actually is to bring clarity and to end it up in collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when someone, a professional, a leader, when they move from scattered to strategic, what actually changes in how they make decision, how they think, and how they show up? What will be the
More
noticeable difference?
more confidence, few but laser focused actions, progressions in terms of achieving what you want to achieve, and creating more of the kind of achievements that you'd like to achieve. You are no more actually pursuing everything. You know what is important to you. You separate the right thing from the chaos, right? So you have that focus, and that focus by itself bring a peace of mind and stability. And at the same time, it also gives you the laser focused attention. You want to focus on that particular priority you are addressing at the moment.
So
Yeah,
basically, it improves the quality of their decision making overall.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And also
that's
the
that's
quality of results they are getting.
that's very powerful. Right now we're talking about action, taking the right type of action using a framework like DEBBO, or a strategic framework like DEBBO. In your coaching or in your experience, how are people resonating with the DEBBO thinking?
Oh, that's really a good question, a nice question.
Yeah,
Earlier on, people really don't have they don't comprehend the overall framework, right? How it operates together. But while working through even the first module, they start to actually realize what is important and foundational, which is clarity. Yeah. Clarity is something which brings you back home, right? Which brings your attention to what you value most, right? So that clarity itself is actually something which shows a big light towards where you want to go, right? When you
yeah,
add to that the collaboration piece, when you bring in other people to sit in the table
mm-hmm,
to discuss on your challenge, to
yeah,
provide you multiple solutions from multiple angles, then the wow moment comes,
yeah,
right? What is
yeah,
the problem for most professionals and entrepreneurs these days, even
mm-hmm,
those with clarity,
yeah,
is to get the collaboration from other people. You might really have a serious problem which keeps you awake the whole night.
yeah,
So it's logical you talk to your wife and your friends and your family, but you
yeah,
might not get the right insight you need from there. You have to
mm-hmm,
identify the right people which could be a resource at this moment. So that is the most important thing in the collaboration piece. So when you find people who
mm-hmm,
actually are thinking the way you think, right? Seeking a kind of
yeah,
support, the one you need, or
yeah,
people who have gone through the problem you are going through now,
mm-hmm,
right? When these people are giving you advice, when these people are actually sitting on a table with you to listen to your problem and share their insights, that's really so powerful. So getting
yeah,
clarity is one, and getting the collaboration from like-minded people is another.
Yeah.
So this is really very much a powerful process. Yeah.
I like the focus on collaboration, especially it's very clear when leaders move from pressure to thinking clearly, we see their teams improve, we see their teams thrive, we see the institutions thrive. What kind of legacy do you think DEBBO thinking will have on leaders, companies, and institutions?
Yeah. Two things here. Double thinking is just a cultural practice proven to
Yeah.
survive centuries, where people
Mm-hmm.
have been actually living together, helping each other. So, double itself is a legacy which comes from the African culture, collective culture, right? And at the same time, in this contemporary world, double is also a perspective to bring in multiple tools and frameworks together with intention of creating clarity and collaboration. So now this would one legacy, one very much important legacy double thinking would leave might be to bring in the cultural African thinking, African collaboration, management, and leadership actions into the contemporary world, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Testing them side by side with leadership science, the science of collaboration, the science of team development. So that would
Mm-hmm.
be a legacy informing the science from the cultural perspective. So
Yeah.
most Africans are actually we are configured in a collaborative working environment. Yeah, as we say, it takes a village to raise a child, right?
Yes.
So there are that whole set of collaborative collective mechanism. So it's more highlighting that. It's more sustaining this into the modern world, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's actually the legacy. Double itself is a legacy, but it would also be leaving a new legacy into the new science of leadership, team science, and also the science of decision making.
What do you want your legacy to be?
I really never thought about it like that. I'm just doing what I need to do now. I'm not
Yeah.
doing to leave a legacy. But if there is one, I really want to leave a simple footprint of linking African collaborative framework into contemporary management and decision making science.
I like that. You know,
Yeah,
a lot of professionals actually they can go through clarity, they can go through the right type of action, and also they can go through collaboration, but without the vision of what happens when they're gone, whatever they're working on ends up dying too. So that's why in one of my frameworks start from self-discovery, vision, strategy, and that falls under the clarity. And then we go
yeah,
into empowerment and reputation, and that goes through the action that you need to take. And then the last one is the impact, which is around influence and legacy. And to align with your framework, it's about the collaboration that you are bringing. So from clarity to collaboration, we are
yeah,
walking people from pressure to clarity to action to impact. And the legacy part is when people wait until the end of their career and decide their legacy. And I'm
yeah,
challenging people to set it way, way before and to have that vision leading to that vision. So I see what you are building in DEBBO thinking already. You are creating a legacy. You're talking about collaboration. Everyone who is part of DEBBO thinking and using it, they're thinking of you. Their lives are being changed by you. And that's what I find so inspiring, especially you say your focus is on you want to improve the African collaboration within the US or within the diaspora. So I like that focus. And if anybody is watching this, DEBBO Thinking is the way to go. If you're familiar with Ubuntu, do you know Ubuntu? Ubuntu,
Yes,
what?
Ubuntu in South Africa. By the way, we have multiple double-like cultures across Africa. The name is different.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
philosophy is mostly the same. I believe they
Mm-hmm.
have it in all the 53 countries in Africa.
Mm-hmm. Is DEBBO the way DEBBO is written? Is it Amharic, or what is the Amharic version of DEBBO?
The sound is the same, double.
Yeah.
We have our own letters. So we are not using the Latin letters. So we write it in our own scriptures, but the
Mm-hmm.
sound is the same. It's just double. And I coined it as DEBBO because
Mm-hmm.
the concept behind is dynamic engagement to bridge bold opportunities.
Yeah. See, even my son is joining me here. Can you let me
Hi,
finish my
hi.
podcast? Finish into a paper plane. Yeah, ask Mama. No, she doesn't know how to make one. Can I finish, Ethan? Because we have to go soon, okay? Yeah.
Hi, school.
So yeah, my son came asking me to make an aeroplane in the middle of a podcast. So we'll do this podcast interrupted, like this. Yeah. Thanks for understanding. This is DEBBO Thinking.
Exactly.
Pressure.
Yeah, definitely. The next generation podcaster.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's gonna have all my tools.
Yeah.
All right, Ethan. Yeah.
You make it look like a space rocket.
Yeah. Elon Musk.
Kind
All
of.
right. All right. We just made an aeroplane, right? So
Wow, that's a good
now
one.
now let me finish. My wife actually went to volunteer in Africa, in South Africa for 1 year, lived in Soweto. And yeah, she came back with a lot of experience, especially around what Ubuntu means. So
Interesting.
I can see the relationship between DEBBO thinking and Ubuntu, and how we are all applying our knowledge in the service of Africa, our knowledge
Yeah,
in the service of community. So
yeah.
actually, my high school motto was knowledge in the service of Africa.
Wow,
You do you
that's a
remember?
powerful one.
Yeah. So you are one of the fastest podcast guests. From the time I knew to the time you appear to my show is within less than 2 weeks. And
That quickly
yeah,
empathized with what you already have in mind. By the way, I have also a great appreciation on what you are doing. I just looked into your website and your profile and I said, oh,
yeah,
this is a man.
yeah.
So our approach is actually more or less
The
aligned.
the reason is because yeah, my
Yeah,
framework is from clarity to action to impact, and you
yeah,
have from scattered to strategic planning,
yeah. From clarity to collaboration. Yeah.
from clarity to collaboration. What's one small shift someone can make to move from scattered to strategic this week?
Very much important. So the first thing is don't take being scattered as personal. Scattered
Yeah.
is an issue of lack of structure. So always bring structure to your thinking. Structure in a form of what is most important to me now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also understanding where I am on this situation at the moment. Then define the new reality you want to achieve, where I want to take this forward, where I want to be going forward, right? And then understand what would be on the way. Expect the challenge. There is always a bumpy road out there. Don't expect every road would be smooth. So you have to preempt the risks.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to understand the challenge earlier, and you have
Mm-hmm.
to be ready to pay the price for that. So, understanding the obstacle. And this would actually give you the laser focused action to take immediately, not
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, not next month, not next year, just now. We are all good in visualizing the dreamland where we want to be. We just see the new house we want to live in, the new car we want to drive, the new job we really want to land at, or the new relationship we really wish to have. We all are clear on that. Where we are not clear is
Mm-hmm.
what is in between,
Yes.
right? From
Yeah.
now to that dreamland. So
Mm-hmm.
if you pick anything out of this podcast, it could be that bring structure into your thinking. Whatever failure you are facing it is not personal.
Mm-hmm.
It's just lack of structure. And these 5 questions by themselves will take you actually very close to your first action. And remember, if you are taking the first action, then the 1,000 steps would really be very much easier. What's
Yeah.
difficult is always the first step. And again,
Yeah.
remember, you don't have to take the first step if you don't know where that would lead you. First, get a clarity on your destination. Set the
Yes.
GPS first. So
Mm-hmm.
this is my advice. If you just take anything out of this, just this structure to your thinking. What is it that I want now? And then define actually your reality, where you are now. Just expose yourself, be a little vulnerable. Some of us would always accept the condition we are in. So that actually deprives us of some energy. Feel that you
Mm-hmm.
are not yet there. And that would actually show you the gap
Mm-hmm.
from where you are to where you want to be, right? And there is
Yeah.
always a challenge in between. Expect those. There are a lot of tools and frameworks which would help you to identify what are the challenges, the bumps on the road. And
Yes.
once you know them, the action would definitely be clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's not about taking any type of action. It's taking the right type of action with the vision, because
yeah,
vision without action is like a bicycle without wheels. You may know where
exactly.
you may know where you want to go,
Yeah.
but you might not get there without taking the right type of action. And
Where
a
is
lot
the
of
energy? You see, unless
yeah,
you are giving up the energy, the cycle will not take you anywhere. That's a nice
yeah,
expression. I like it. Yeah.
yeah. And if people feel like they're not ready, you don't need to feel ready. You need to start pedaling to become steady. Just like in a bike, you can't gain
Yeah.
balance without pedaling. And I want to leave people with that powerful message. But before we go, if people want to reach you, Fasika, to get in touch with you, to learn about DEBBO thinking, to go from clarity to collaboration, from scatter to strategic, where can they find you and how can they know more about you?
We have a website, debosolutions.com.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, our thinking is always reflected on our websites there. We have a blog. So you
Yeah.
can read our blogs there, what double thinking is, and also you would find our programs. We have an online course already available, which you can enroll anytime and get access to all the 7 modules to get this
Mm-hmm.
clarity and collaboration through online videos and workbooks. We have also free webinars. You can register online on the website. You can always reach me out through the contact on the website for one-on-one coaching or any kind of conversation. I am really happy and available to talk to you guys. So the most important thing on this chaotic time is clarity, and
Mm-hmm.
don't try to walk your journey alone. Success
Yes.
is not supposed to be a solo journey. Seek a collaboration mechanism, and that collaboration by itself is a science, from
Yeah.
identifying your collaborator all the way how to frame your request and how to receive your request and how to sustain that is a thoughtful process, and there is a structure to do that. So reach out to us. Let's get clarity and collaboration together. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for you, Felix. I always have an appreciation for what you do. It's really a great job. Keep it up. You are also working on the same framework with
Yeah.
helping 1 million professionals. It's
Yeah.
really so much inspiring,
Yeah.
so much interesting. So keep up the good work.
Hmm.
Thank you very much.
My mission is to help 1 million professionals move from invisible to influential. And through the DEBBO thinking and other systems, everything is possible. And if anybody wants to maybe understand more about why you can't go alone and you need accountability, in my previous podcast with Zana, we talked about they have an accountability group of 8 women, and they meet every Saturday to discuss about what happened during the week, what help do they need, what's next for them, and a lot of things are moving because of that for them. Same way, my friend Fasika here invited me to a similar group, so I'm looking forward to joining him and his friends to expand the DEBBO thinking. I like the DEBBO word. I'm gonna tell my wife about DEBBO thinking today.
And we call our structure a double circle. We have also small groups and we call them double circle. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're watching this, we know we've taken you from pressure, the problem that you have, to the clarity that you need, to the right type of action, and then to the impact that you always desire. And from today, it's time to move from invisible to influential, from clarity to collaboration, from scattered to strategic. Thank you very much for joining today, Fasika, and for anybody watching this.